Hey travelers, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. My name is Stef and I love giving people travel advice for all things Peru basically at this point. So in today's video, we are going to do another cooking video, and I guess I'm going to name this a new series called Cooking with Stef. How often I will upload to this playlist, I have no idea because most Peruvian food is meat-based and I don't eat meat. But I do what I can, people, and I do my best to share my culture and the gastronomy and, all things Peru to the best of my ability, as it's true and authentic to me. In today's video, we are making Chicha Morada. Chicha Morada is a very popular Peruvian drink here that we have that is made from purple corn, and it's so good and refreshing, especially like on a hot summer day when you have a nice cold glass of Chicha Morada. Oh my god, it is so good. We have many different types of corn, like they come in a bunch of different colors: red, yellow, purple. I think I've seen like bluish corn too and stuff. A mix of it, so there's so many different types of corn, and we use this purple corn specifically to make Chicha Morada, and that's where it gets its color from. It's like a very dark purple-ish color. Okay, this is what Chicha Morada looks like. I got this from the mercado. If you have not seen my video that I did, the first video for this series where I shared with you the recipe on how to make tallarín verde or tallarines verdes, I don't know what the actual name is. I've always heard it as tallarín verde, but tallarín is singular and tallarines is plural. So I don't know, but tallarín verde, that video, I will link it up here. And there you will see my little story of me just going to the market and just sharing, because these are kind of like vlog style videos, not official recipe videos. If you came for an official recipe, I'm sorry, this is not the video for you. Anyway, I went to the market and I got a kilo of maiz morado, and I swear I had more maiz, but I guess this was it. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough, and I don't have any more here to make what I wanted, but hopefully it's enough. But we're going to start off with this, okay? Now, sometimes when you go and buy the maiz, right, it'll have these thingies. Hold on, focus camera. You see how it has these little thingies in it? It's kind of dirty. So what we do here to clean that is we get one of these kinds of brushes, whatever kind of scrubbing brush you have, and then we just like scrub it and brush it off. Okay, so I'm gonna go do that first, and then I'm going to wash the corn. So first I'm gonna scrub, and then I'm gonna wash the corn to get it ready to make chicha morada. Okay guys, next in our steps for making really good quality, delicious, authentic chicha morada, okay, you're gonna grab your biggest pot that you have. This is the biggest one that we have here. I filled it up to about here because the corn is gonna go in and it's gonna make the water level go up. I put this on high heat to get it to start boiling already. It hasn't started boiling, but whatever, I'm gonna just go ahead and start putting the corn in there because I ain't got time to waste. In goes the corn. Woo! Some water spilled. All right, I had some really decent sized corn. They weren't that small. They were, pretty decent, big. But my spidey sense is telling me that this is not enough for the consistency that I want, the quality that I want, because you want really nice, thick chicha morada. You want it to have flavor. And when you don't have enough of the corn, it's not going to have enough of that flavor. So I'm going to make a quick run to the mercado to get another 2 corn thingies. What do we call them? Heads of corn? What's the word in English? Anyway, the point is, I'm gonna go grab 2 more so that way I feel more comfortable in knowing I have enough in here and it's gonna be quality and consistent, because I'm gonna make mazamorra as well from this. You're gonna see later in a next video. I'm gonna go and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I got 2 more corn thingies, ears of corn husks, whatever this is called. Let me know down below in the comments. But I got 2 more of these at the market. It cost me 3 soles 20. And I was asking my vegetable lady if 1.5 kilos of corn, purple corn, would be enough to make chicha morada and mazamorra. And she told me yes. And just from looking at it, I was like, yes, this should be enough now. Based on past experience, it should be enough now. Because you want a nice, thick, consistent flavor. You don't want it to be watery or just barely taste the corn. So you have to have enough. So 1.5 kilos. And she also recommended that I get anise estrella. This, it costs $1.50. So I've never done it with this, and I'm gonna experiment. So once I get my chicha going and stuff and it's ready, I'm gonna put in a little pot some chicha with this just to see how different the flavor is, and I'll report in this video. So I'm gonna go scrub these and get all the dirt and stuff off of them and then throw them in the pot. When you scrub them, you dry scrub, like dry brushing, okay? Don't put water on them. And then once they're clean in that way, then you rinse them like and clean them with water. And then you throw them in the pot, okay? All right, let's do that. For those of you who are visual learners like me, I'm just gonna show you how it's done just to reassure you, because I like seeing things myself as well, just to make sure I'm doing everything right. So I'm just dry scrubbing them, basically, to make them nice and clean. I already cleaned this half, and this is the second half that I'm cleaning. So now, hopefully you should be able to see it's nice and clean. No more dirt and grime. This is how it looks like prior to cleaning. It has a little dirt and things in there. Now I'm gonna clean it with the scrubbing thingy. Some of the little corn thingies might fall off. I love how thingies is just, you can use it for whenever you don't know the word. Someone recently told me they love how I use thingies. And I'm like, oh. I mean, I admit when I don't know stuff. You can scrub it this way too. Alright, so now it should be nice and clean. Oops, there we go. See? Big difference. And now I'm gonna wash this. And then just go up and down the little rows of corn. Clean the ends. And that's it. Listen, don't hate on this beat up pot. When you cook and stuff, things get worn down and it is what it is. So once I put the 2 little extra corn thingies in here, the water level rose up a lot. So I gotta be careful that the water doesn't spill over when it starts boiling. But it's on high heat for right now. And I'm gonna leave it without the lid because I wanna keep an eye on it and I don't want it to kind of come out of the pot and onto the stove. Listen people, I have this too full right now. There's too much water in here because there is so many additional ingredients that need to go in here to really make a really delicious chicha morada and mazamorra, which will be in a different video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw cinnamon in here. I'll wash this because I got it from the market and it was loose and ew, germs. Anyway, so I'm a germaphobe, clearly. Not as bad as my grandma, but you just got to be clean, okay? Like, I don't like dirty people. So I'm gonna wash this, throw it in here, and this is the clove. And I'm probably gonna grab like a small handful. Also rinse these under water. So about like that much, okay? Because these have really strong flavor. Probably put a little bit more because I like intense flavors, but not too much. Because then I overdo it sometimes. So about this much. How many cloves are these? Hold on, let me count them for you guys who are afraid of going overboard. Okay, I got 17 cloves in here. Probably a little bit more than I need, but I don't care. It's mine, so I'm gonna eat it. So anyway, I'm gonna wash these and then put them in here. This goes in the pot. I'm gonna break this in half, throw it in there. I might add a little bit more cinnamon because I like cinnamon. It's just good. You can't add too much cinnamon though, because then it's gonna be like overpowered by the cinnamon, because cinnamon is strong. So I'm just gonna add like a little tiny nub from here and add it to the pot. I have tasted chicha moradas that just had way too much cinnamon because, I don't know, like it was delicious, but it was just too strong. Like you want to subtly feel the cinnamon there and have it be something that adds to the drink rather than something that kind of like overpowers it. You know what I mean? So that's how much cinnamon I decided to add. Now we're also going to add some fruits to the chicha morada to give it a more delicious fruity flavor, okay? A lot of times I have seen chicha morada served around Peru that didn't have any fruit added to it. They barely added cinnamon to it. It just felt like it was literally just the corn water. And that is nasty. It don't taste like nothing. So if you've had chicha morada that just doesn't feel like it has flavors to it, it feels flat, it's not impressive, you had really bad chicha morada. And if you had chicha morada that's like ridiculously sweet, you probably had the little packaged chicha morada that comes in those little like packets and stuff, kind of like Kool-Aid or whatever. It's like in a powder form, and you add it to like a pitcher with some water and then the powder, and then you mix it up, and then boom, you have chicha morada instantly. That is trash, okay? That is not real chicha morada. Real chicha morada includes all of these ingredients, all of this work, and it's really good for you. It's much better than the powder stuff, obviously, because it's not processed. And it just has like more vitamins and nutrients and minerals in it, and it's just better, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get some of this piña, this pineapple. I'm gonna wash this first because washing things is important. Let me tell you how many TikToks I done seen of people cooking in their house and they're dirty as hell. I'm like, ooh, honey, I would never go to eat at your house. My goodness. So I'm gonna wash this, okay? So that way I can peel the skin off of the pineapple because we're gonna put the pineapple skin in the pot. Okay, and I'm probably gonna add just a few little pieces of the actual pineapple fruit in there just to give it some additional flavor. I also have these manzana de aguas, which is like little apples that we use to make like a apple juice drink here. I got like 5 of them, and I'm gonna wash these and then cut them up as well into smaller pieces so I can add them to the pot. Manzana de agua, when you just make the drink itself, it has a really nice thick consistency. So I feel like the manzana, when we add it to the thing, even though this is a sour kind of apple, it gives it a little bit of like thickness to it and consistency. And I also got this membrillo. If you haven't seen my video yet on me eating membrillo just as the fruit, then I will link it up here somewhere for you to watch. But we're gonna cut up membrillo and put it in the pot as well, just to give it some more thickness and consistency, okay? So what I like to do is after I have cut the pineapple in like slices this way, and then I cut them into like little triangles this way, I like to grab a piece and just cut the little pointy part that has like the little core in it, because I want to use those pieces for my chicha. So, and then I cut the little, what are these thingies called in English? The little spots, okay? Whatever it is. I cut that away because that stuff be hurting your tongue. And I also use that and throw it in the pot to make my chicha, just because we are not wasteful over here. We use everything that we can to make our delicious chicha. So that's what I'm doing right now. These are all the scraps basically that I'm going to throw into the pot. I'm probably gonna add the tippy top part, probably add some of the slices here and then the core, and then just toss all of that in there to give it some extra deliciousness. This is what I have left over, and I'm gonna put it in the pot now, and hopefully it's not too much for the pot and it doesn't spill over. I put about like 6 little pieces of actual pineapple fruit in there just because why not? Now I'm gonna cut these little manzana de agua up and throw it in the pot as well. I just like to cut it up in fourths. It has these little like leaves at the bottom. I try to remove those, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to put all of this liquid and stuff through a colander or strainer, whatever it's called. A small one though, to get all the like small little pieces. Basically, I just chopped the apple in half and then half again, so it's in 4 little parts. And that is what I'm going to throw in the pot. I still like cutting off the little ends that have those little like leaves, just because I do. Now I'm gonna put these in the pot as well, and hopefully I don't push my luck, although it seems like I am because it's at the very tippy top now. Lesson learned, don't put too much water. Better to have less than to have too much. Then you can gradually add more if you need it. I think what I'm gonna have to do is take some of this water out and put it in a different pot, set it aside so that when the water starts going down, then I can add it to it later. See, this is how you troubleshoot in the kitchen. I'm teaching important life skills, people. I got this tiny little pot almost filled to the top with the excess chicha juice. And even though it hasn't even been boiling that long, I think, maybe 20 minutes or so, like the water in here, the liquid is so dark already, and it's just a beautiful color. I wish I could show you, but it's too much trying to do this video with just myself. Like, I don't have a team. I'm not in a studio where I can have people come in here and zoom in and shit. Like, I'm just trying to do the best I can, people. Trying to do the best I can with the resources I currently have. One day maybe though, when my channel is big enough and people around here know me, they'll invite me to like a special kitchen where I can cook and make more beautiful professional videos. But until then, this is what it is. All right, I just washed the membrillo because that's going next in the pot. Let me tell you, this membrillo has been sitting in my room for 2 weeks because I was recording a bunch of fruit videos, and as always, I get way more fruit than I need in one sitting because I'm so ambitious and I like overestimate how much I can do or whatever. And anyway, long story short, I got too much fruit and I couldn't record all the videos in time to really make use of the fruit. So anyway, some of the fruit that I bought, it went bad even though it was in the fridge. And this fruit, surprisingly, stayed really, really good. It didn't go bad, even though it's been sitting there in room temperature in my room for 2 weeks. And I think that's because I have good energy. Like, I've noticed that my fruits last really long than they did in the past because I think it's my energy. They're like in my space with me, so I don't know. My energy just preserves it better because, yeah, it should have probably gone bad by now. Okay, this thing has seeds, but I don't care. I'm going to throw it in there because, again, you're going to strain it anyway. I'm just taking off the little parts that look a little bit ugly. This is overall still in good condition. So yay for good energy, positive vibes, preserving the fruit, giving it a longer shelf life. What? Anyway, if you haven't seen my video on membrillo yet, I'll link it up here for you to watch. But I just cut it up in a few slices, and I'm going to throw that in the pot as well. These fruits are what give it that nice, thick, rich texture. So it's not just like watery and boring and plain. It gives it nice flavor too, okay? I can smell the cinnamon, like the cinnamon flavor is coming through strong. I don't know why this is not like bubbling. It's not bubbling. And it's on high heat, but it's taking forever. We're gonna try to put the lid on it, maybe a little bit off, because I don't want it to like burst out of the pot. So now the chicha is boiling, and you can see the little apples are already like getting puffed up and stuff. They're swollen. So yeah, they're releasing their little fiber and stuff, because this little apple kind of like dissolves, and that's why it makes a nice thick apple juice, and that's why it's going to give it, the chicha, a nice thick consistency. The chicha needs to boil for about 45 minutes, so while that's doing its thing, I'm going to tidy up my space here because I hate a mess. I can't create art this way. It needs to be nice and clean and organized. Okay guys, it is now time to strain this chicha into this other pot, okay? So we can just get the liquid, because part of this is going to be for Chicha Morada and the other part's going to be for mazamorra morada. Why on earth I decided to make these dishes that have really intense colors on a day where I'm wearing white is beyond me. Oh snap. And this is what happens. The reason that I was able to pick this pot up and touch it the way that I did is because this has been sitting here for probably over an hour now, waiting for me to come back and do this process, but I've been making other dishes, chilling, resting, etc. as needed. So anyway, now that I have drained this out into this pot, I threw away the little things that were here in the trash. So this is really pure chicha juice concentrate. And now I'm gonna fill this up again to the top and let this cook for 45 minutes as well, just to finish extracting the rest of the good nutrients that are here. Because you see this corn here, how it's opening up, and this one isn't at all. These other ones are open, but this one isn't at all. And these could open up some more. And so you want these corn thingies to open up a lot to really make sure that you've gotten the rest of what you can get out of it, basically. Look, I found a really good one that's like all busted up. You see it? Focus, camera, focus. That's how they need to get in order to make sure that you've really gotten everything that you could out of these corn thingies. I'm moving them around so that the ones that aren't really opened, they're like at the bottom. I'm gonna pour in the rest of the stuff that was in this little pot because I don't want it to be too full because it overflowed last time. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. And now the lid is on. Now it is time for me to clean up because I have made a hot mess and I cannot work in a dirty space. Cleanliness is key. If you're one of those people that leaves all the pots and dishes and pans and everything when you're cooking and then you clean when you're done eating, I could not go to your house ever. Like, that is my pet peeve. Like, I need to clean as I go because I don't want a mountain of dishes when I'm done. Are you one of these people? Let's laugh at you together, okay? Let me know if you're a clean freak like me because I cannot, like, it just bothers me. It's like OCD or something when I see all the craziness. All right, guys, it's almost 10 o'clock. This has been sitting here on the stove for the last 15 minutes with the heat off, just so that it could cool down a little bit. So now I'm gonna strain the chicha that's in here, and since this is almost full in this other pot, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour this into this pitcher. This pitcher says that it's for 3.5 liters. So I'm gonna pour this into this, and then I'm gonna pour this into this with the strainer to get that ready. This has been filled up just like the previous batch, so I'm gonna pour this into the pitcher as well because I just want to make sure that the flavor overall is consistent, since this is the water from the refill basically. So I'm gonna pour this into the pitcher just to make sure that the flavor is even and consistent. I got most of it in the pitcher. This is still really hot, but as you can see, this corn still has a lot left to like break open. I could potentially fill this up halfway to put it to a boil just to make extra, chicha. And I think I'm gonna do that because I don't like anything going to waste. Even though it's really late and I really just want to start getting ready for bed at this point, but let's not be wasteful. I have forgotten to use my ring light in the previous clip or so, but anyway, it's here now. I basically decided to take out a couple of these ears of corn, or whatever we call it, because they were the most opened up, so I was like, whatever, I need to get them out of this pot so I can actually put the useful corn that still has juice in it, basically, to squeeze out of it, so I could put it at the bottom. So I threw a couple of them out. I filled up the pot to about up here, and I know that this is going to get reduced to like around halfway, and that's fine. I just want to get the last little bit I can out of this maiz. Also, by the way, to the Peruanos watching these videos, what do you guys do with the cooked corn? Like, do you do anything else with it? Because my grandma just throws it away, but I don't like being wasteful, so sometimes I eat it after it's cooked like that, and I just eat it. It doesn't taste like anything, and I'll eat a little bit of one or something. I'm gonna let this cook for another 30 minutes or so, since it's a lot less, and then I'll finish straining it, and then I'll have plenty of chicha left over for Chicha Morada, and then we're gonna use some as well to make mazamorra morada as well, and that'll be in the next video, which I will finish tomorrow, because I don't want to make the mazamorra today. It's late as hell, and I'd rather make it fresh tomorrow for my aunt who's coming over to have lunch with me and stuff. I'm gonna have her try some of my food. Anyway, alright guys, gotta wait for this to finish boiling. Basically though, when this finishes boiling, I'm gonna go through the same process of straining it, and then I'm gonna put some of the chicha that's in this big pitcher. I'm gonna put some of it in the pot, mixed in with the new batch. Just try to blend the flavors to make sure that the flavor is consistent throughout. And then what I'm gonna do is the chicha that I have left over in this big pitcher. This is gonna be like the concentrate. That's what's gonna go in the fridge, but I'm gonna leave this out overnight because it's really late so that it can cool. And basically, when we're ready to drink chicha, we have a small, like, everyday little pitcher. Let me go find it. This is a little everyday pitcher that we use. Maybe you have a little bigger one. It doesn't matter. The chicha that you want to drink for today or whenever you're drinking it, you're going to get the chicha concentrate from the big pitcher, pour it into your regular use pitcher, and then you're going to add sugar to it to your liking, and then you're also going to squeeze a lime in that pitcher as well to give it that extra flavor. So you put sugar and the juice of a lime, and then you just put it in your glass and you serve it, and that's basically it. Also, once I finally get the last bit of this chicha to mix in with the other batch, I'm gonna separate some into this small pot, and put maybe like a couple of these anise estrellas and just let it, you know, boil on low or whatever, just to get the extract from this, and just see how that changes the flavor so that I can report on that, because that's what my vegetable lady recommended. And yeah, that's basically pretty much how you make chicha morada with a really good, delicious, consistent flavor. Again, if you only use the purple corn, the flavor is not gonna be good. It's gonna be like, whatever. I think I'm gonna stop recording on this topic for today, and I really hope that you got something out of it. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. If your chicha morada recipe is similar or different, if you add different things, let us know down in the comments below any tips and tricks that you have. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and drop me a comment letting me know what your thoughts were on this video, this topic today. Stay in touch with me on Instagram or TikTok. You can find me as Evolving with Stef. My social media links will be in the description of this video down below. I'm sorry if I sound kind of tired. I'm just really exhausted because I've been in the kitchen recording these videos since like really early today. I can't remember when I started, if it was like 3 or 4 p.m. or something. And I'm just tired and I want to get ready to go to bed, but I gotta wait on this. Also, I've been watching Nailed It on Netflix while I've been passing the time in between my little breaks. And does anyone else watch Nailed It out there? I love it. Like, they have a new season or whatever right now, 2023, and I really love it. So anyway, let me know if you watch Nailed It down below. All right, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. As always, stay curious, keep traveling, keep exploring, keep trying new things, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.